Good afternoon, everybody. This is Cameron Williams.
And this is Taylor Harris.
And this is Glasshouse Radio with Howard University Radio Network. And today's show is Game Time. Now, on today's show, we will be talking about topics that have been around the sports world for some time. We're getting away from a lot of the current events and stuff, and then we're revisiting some subjects like substance abuse, drug abuse, players going into coaching, career-ending injuries, recruiting, and a lot more. So we're going to start with steroids and drug abuse. Now, usually it's a lot of baseball players, track players, football players who do steroids.
Basketball, too.
But, well, I mean,
Right.
I haven't seen a lot of cases, but I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, especially the way the basketball is going now. But I looked up 2 ways that steroids are taken. And then one is it can be taken orally, and that's like through mouth.
Yeah, like the pill or whatever,
Yeah,
steroid pills.
I think that's
Traditional
like
way.
the most popular.
That's how we see it, like in movies and stuff like that. Like a little magic pill. You know, they get all big and go crazy and everything like that.
And then the second way is it can be injected. So like through arms or the behind.
It's crazy, man. You're already like a top athlete. Like, what? You trying to push yourself to do more? I mean, I guess, me personally, I think you should just push yourself in the gym more, you know, rather than...
That's real. For players who aren't as well as, you know, are as good as Kobe. I mean, at the same time, if you're in NBA, NFL, MLB, then you're doing something right.
Right, but I guess it's still like the pressure to be the best, so... But still, I mean, once you're caught, you ripped through everything. We were just talking about Barry Bonds, you know. Everything's gone. Marion Jones, Lance
Justin
Armstrong.
Gatlin, Lance Armstrong. Yeah, and his case was really...
sad.
It was really special because, you know,
The
people
yellow-
were
the
feeling
yellow
for him.
bands,
Yeah, the
yeah.
live strong. And then to come out about, you know, cheating with drugs. And
Right.
stuff. It's
And
like,
I find it funny how whenever there's like allegations, they're just like, well, I didn't do it. You know, like, they try to blame it, I guess, on the test or something. And then it's like, no, like you took the steroids.
Yeah, it's never their fault. It's
Yeah.
always the person who gave it to them.
Yeah, some people, I don't know what case it was, somebody blamed it on the facility. Like, I didn't know they were giving this to me. Like, what? You knew what you were doing.
I mean, if I was losing millions of dollars because of a drug, I would probably come up with a reason for it.
Always best to
excuse.
come clean. Put the white hat on and come clean.
Yeah, you know, Sammy Sosa did it. Barry Bonds. You said Barry Bonds before. Alex Rodriguez. Those are baseball players.
Right.
And then, well, one of the most popular football ones to me was Sean Merriman. You remember him? He was a linebacker in the NFL.
No, I actually don't remember that case.
Well, it's cool. He was like the guy who always made a sack and did a light switch on his arm and got bucked. But he got caught with drugs, and then after that, career was like over.
Worse than an injury.
Yeah. That's what I recognized how like when after players take steroids or use performance enhancing drugs,
Right.
they don't do as well as they did before.
What I don't get is, you know that you get like randomly drug tested.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, what are you thinking when you're
You should-
taking
exactly.
steroids? Like,
You should be aware.
you just above getting tested. I mean, I don't understand. Like, you know it's coming one day. Because even like when an athlete does really good, the first thing people say is steroids.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
And that's sad that it's come to that. You know,
Yeah.
people jump
Mainly
to
like
that
in track and
conclusion.
field, but yeah, that's like the first thing people say. Like, it's kind of too good, you know.
Yeah. And in track, Justin Gatlin lost his gold medal. When
Right.
he got caught. Marion Jones lost a grip of her medals.
But she got hers back. She's in a WNBA, so I mean,
Yeah.
she got a little bit, you know.
And hopefully, you
Make
know,
a little
she does
paycheck
well,
still.
stay clean. And they end up losing a grip of money off of
Endorsements,
being
not
caught.
even just. And I think Lance Armstrong had to actually pay money back because
Oh,
he
for
had a
real?
sponsorship by the government. Had to pay millions of dollars back.
Dang.
Yes,
see.
it's
Yeah.
never worth it.
Speaking of money, another one of the topics we're going to talk about is poor money management with
Going
athletes.
broke.
Like
Going
broke for broke. I remember that 30 for 30 on ESPN. They were talking about how a bunch of, it was mainly football players.
Yeah,
for
it was
real.
saying 78% of football players filed for bankruptcy 5 years after they quit playing, and that's crazy. Like,
It's
managing
crazy.
money, like.
And I saw that 60% of NBA players filed for bankruptcy 5 years after retirement.
That's
So-
like that's way too many.
Like that balance is terrible.
I mean, you gotta balance your lifestyle. Don't act like you never had money before. I mean, I don't know. I guess people just think the money is never gonna run out, but
Yeah.
obviously it is.
You seen? I mean, I've seen it too. Like, I mean, Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
He's a good example of
He
how
said
to.
he didn't even have money for dinner. Put a hamburger in his mouth. That's what he said.
But I mean, I feel like he's doing kind of a good thing because he has like a scholarship program.
Right, but he's
so
gonna get some money back. Like actually, his I guess his financial advisor probably knew he was being kind of crazy with money, so he set it up so that I guess when he turns 50, he had like I guess a few million saved up for him. So thankfully, he had somebody on his team that was smart.
Yeah, that always works. So I feel like every athlete should really look into someone to manage their money because a lot of the athletes that got into the league, get into the league, are people who don't really come from a lot of money all the time.
Right.
So when they get money happy and start
money happy. But other people borrowing money too. Like you got to help this person out, this person out, this person out. Like you the provider for everybody.
Yeah, that's real. I was reading this morning. Herm Edwards, he's an analyst and a former NFL player. He was saying how some of the rookies who would come into the NFL, they would feel obligated to take care of family and friends because, they might not have it as well as they do. So they end up losing a lot of money trying to help people.
Yeah, and you can't say, like, don't help, though. You can help it to a certain extent. Like, hey, you was making it before.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll help you out, but just not for life.
And that's what I was thinking, too, because I'm in my whole mindset is when I finally, get a big break or get my one big shot and start being successful, I'm going to help my film out too, But then when I read that, I'm like, okay, well, be mindful at the same time.
Yeah, I think you should always just have a plan for everything. Like, this is what I'm going to use to help. I don't know who I'm going to help with it, but this is my money for that. This is the money I'm going to save. This is what I'm going to spend just for fun. I mean, I think that'll help. So. Yeah,
and I find myself, like, trying to come up with amounts who I'm gonna give what, like
I don't know about all that.
Like if they 58, give them
oh my goodness
5,800 or something. Like,
but if I had these $1 million contracts, I just don't think I would poorly manage my money like that. Me personally,
because these players do get paid well,
Right.
Like I said before, NFL players get paid every Tuesday, so that's like really consistent income.
Yeah, weekly. So I mean, hey.
So they have it. But they just go about it the wrong way.
Right. And I guess you can't just say, like, it's one or two people. Like, they're saying 78%, 60%. So it's a problem. Like, I feel like, I don't know, somebody should prepare them for this. Like, I mean, if everybody is going broke, 78, 60, I mean, like, this is a league problem.
Yeah, and that's more than half, too.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous number.
Everybody.
78% and 60% is terrible.
And bankrupt. They're not saying running low and bankrupt. So that's crazy.
And to bring it back to, like, I feel like Steve Francis had a problem with managing money and drug abuse. Like, have you seen recent pictures of Steve Francis?
What is he?
He looks like a totally different person. Like,
oh, wow.
his face is so blown up and puffy, and you can tell it's from use of drugs. Like, it's sad. Like, it made me sad. I saw Magic Johnson was actually, like, he wants to set up something for players to be, like, advised and taught how to spend their money.
Definitely. Like I said, somebody needs to help. Like, this is not a one or two people problem. This is, like, a consistent problem throughout the NBA, NFL. So, I mean, somebody has to help.
Yeah. And Magic Johnson is, he's one of the top.
He's paid.
Businessmen, coming out of the sport. So, that's probably the best person to get advice from when it comes to that.
And I think just, when you're coming out, you just have, like, a business plan. So when you're coming out, you can't live off your NBA, your little 5-year, 10-year money for the rest of your life. You always got to invest your money, think of what you're going to do with it next. I mean,
make use of them endorsements. Okay, speaking of players, we got players going into coaching.
Yeah.
And into managing, period.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I guess for me, I feel like they should wait a while. I don't know how I feel about, players retiring, becoming a head coach the next season. I don't know how successful that is. But, I mean, the best coaches aren't necessarily, like, former players. I mean, they played, but not necessarily played professionally.
Yeah,
and not all of them played in college.
That's what I was thinking, too.
Right.
And I was like, Phil Jackson wasn't the best player, when he was playing. But coaching-wise, you can't really tell the man anything because he knows what he's doing, He had 6 championships with the Bulls. And then 5 with the Lakers.
Right.
That's 11 rings. You got an extra ring for your hands. Put one on your toes. So
it doesn't take the best player.
Yeah. And who else? I know Derek Fisher just went back. went back straight into coaching. Actually, not went back.
Nah, he would have finished with OKC. He went straight to the.
Straight
We'll see
to
how that
coaching the
turns
Knicks.
out. You
But
know,
he's
I'm rooting
Whitfield.
for him. You know,
I am too.
He's
Former
Jason
Laker.
Kidd, you know. Yeah. I would like to see Kobe as a coach, though.
I don't think people would handle.
Why? You don't think he'll make a good coach?
Not old Kobe, but 36-year-old Kobe. Kobe right now might make a good coach. Not head coach yet, but he might make a good coach.
I don't know. I just think the best coaches aren't just like necessarily players. They're just like people that are good at coaching.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you always think to me, like, I always think with basketball, like, point guards would, like, make the best coaches because, you know, they're, like, the leaders on the team. But,
Doc Rivers.
Yeah, it's not always the case, though.
Doc Rivers did real good. With the Celtics, he won to take them to the finals.
Right. Wasn't he coach of Magic for a while, though? And
I don't think.
I thought he was, and they didn't start off too well. But, I mean, he is now.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
Clippers, he's doing well with them.
Right.
Byron Scott did pretty good with the Hornets.
Right.
I'm hoping he does well with the Lakers. Because that's my squad.
See.
I got to remind y'all every time.
Is it, though? They got to rebuild themselves this season. But
we're rebuilt.
Are you?
Already. We're ready.
When Kobe retires, no matter after this season, I mean.
We're ready to take on anything and everything.
Okay.
But no, Byron Scott, when he first coached, I think the Hornets was his first team.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to the playoffs, all but 1 year with him.
Right.
But the Cavs, it was just terrible with Byron Scott with the Cavs.
Like I said, these coaches.
But that's
players.
Yeah, he was an awesome player, so it doesn't really go well for the rep when we mention bad players making good coaches. That's kind of ironic.
Bad players.
Well, not bad players, just not
average,
superstar.
Average.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve Kerr is coaching the Warriors.
Right. Greg, Pop, Spurs. He wasn't.
He played?
No, he wasn't. But I'm saying he wasn't, but he's one of the greatest coaches. I always wondered, how do they gain the respect of players? If you're not a player or a former professional player, how do you go to these players that are professional and playing for so long and say, look, this is what you need to do? Who's listening?
They kind of been taught to do that though the whole year. When you play, you have to listen to your coach.
Right.
They're older than you already.
Is Kobe really listen to his coach? Is Kevin?
He'll listen to Byron.
Is Kevin Durant really listen to his coach? I mean, I don't know. Is LeBron? Well, was LeBron listening to sports?
I don't think any of them listen to sports. Right?
Really? He was the best paid babysitter.
They were.
In the NBA.
He was babysitting some superstars.
Exactly, and getting paid for it.
So I'm saying, Spoelstra, I wouldn't doubt his mind when it comes to it.
Right.
But you have LeBron, who's a great leader,
Right. But they say he's really good with his stats. He's really good with stats. So that's how he moved up in the ranks, became that. So I'm not trying to play his job. I'm just saying, you got those three superstars.
I believe it. And Pat Riley is helping them. Pat Riley was a great coach.
Right.
And is probably one of the best owners right now. I don't know if he's owner or manager, but he has back in a good position.
Okay.
That's what I would say. So, but yeah, when you talking about listening to coaches, I don't know if LeBron's gonna listen to this new coach.
Nah.
So, who else was? Mark Jackson did well.
He did. He stopped playing in 2004 and became coach in 11. So he had a little break. Stopped playing, and now he moving up. They say he's a really good motivator.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
You could, when I watch games, I could hear it too, though, and see it, way he talked to his players. He'd be I need y'all, I need y'all.
Yeah. Had me rooting for him, I'm not a Warriors. I was rooting
by
for
no
him,
means. By no means. I can't stand them.
Oh.
I'm a Lakers fan. I can't stand them. I love Steph,
the Lakers.
But, hey. But yeah, Mark was good at, pumping his team up. And he got them to the playoffs. I don't know why they threw him to the wake side, but hey, Steve Kerr, that's your business.
Well, that's what a coach is supposed to do. They're just a big pumper. That's what they do. That's what I heard Phil Jackson is. He's just a motivator.
Yeah. So all right. So we talked about drug abuse,
right?
Poor money management with athletes,
going broke,
and then players going into coaching. So that was the recap for this. So the next segment we're gonna have a little more for y'all. We'll have career-ending injuries, recruiting, and a lot more. So y'all stay tuned. I want to remind y'all this is Glasshouse Radio, Howard University Radio Network. This is Game Time. I'm Cameron Williams.
I'm Taylor Harris.
Stay tuned for the second segment.